Dan, I know the Lord used you to start and grow collegiate ministries in St. Louis. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that looked like?
Right. So after that experience in Romania, I came back and joined staff with Cru, and I was placed back in Central Missouri. So we were starting to launch some new campuses, and after a couple of years, our regional leadership came and said, "Listen, would you be willing to pioneer and start the ministry in St. Louis?" Now, Cru had a team there previously, but there hadn't been one for at least a little while, and so we said yes to moving to St. Louis, and there were a remnant of a few students at one of the schools, Washington University in St. Louis, and so we were eager to meet them. But the vision was always about reaching students on every college campus there. It was about building gospel movements because we wanted to make multiplying disciples who would really live their Christian faith in a Christ-centered, lifelong kind of way, much like you all talk about. This is why I was so glad to endorse the Fuel in the Flame. It was that commonness of vision that we had was exactly what motivated us to move into St. Louis. And along the way, we began to meet students. Steve knows Jenny Mudrov, who is over in Russia. I guess it's Central Asia is what I would probably say more accurately there. But she's an example of a student who was at Maryville University, one of those St. Louis campuses that honestly, no one was going to. It's easy to drive by that campus and say, it's a small school, it's a private school, it's a this, it's a that. Like there are all kinds of reasons why we say we're not going to go to those schools. But when Holly, my wife, and I said, let's move to St. Louis, part of what we were saying is we want to start fires, so to speak, on all of these campuses. We don't want to just go to the big campuses that show up on the television on Saturday afternoon watching college football. We want to reach the students on every campus. We want to empower the church leaders who have students from those campuses in their churches so that they might have active ministries on their campuses. And by God's grace, we had about a 16-year run there where over those 16 years, we got to a point where we had student leadership teams at 25 or 30 of those campuses in Eastern Missouri and Southern Illinois. And the Lord gets all the glory. It was a wonderful run of ministry before we moved out to California.
That's incredible. And I love the scope. That's a term that Cru people use a lot, is the scope of your vision. And it's, I've always been encouraged by y'all, the Cru. I'm kind of a Cru staff wannabe over here, so feel free to recruit me sometime, but just kidding. but I love that you guys are always looking for reaching the whole world for Christ, or the whole region, or not just one campus, but every campus in this area. And so that's just so encouraging that we just want to continue to push that forward, is thinking beyond, thinking bigger. And that's what the founder, Bill Bright, always, he always was like, hey, let's not just talk about reaching this one area. Let's talk about reaching this whole continent, and trusting God for that.